Hi, I'm Betty Alkazian, and you're watching Raising a Mensch. Today we're going to be talking about creating a respect-based home. What is a respect-based home? A respect-based home is really in contrast to how many of us were raised, which was in a fear-based parenting style. That was the reward and punishment kind of philosophy. You'll do what I say you'll do, or you'll be in big trouble. And that was how I was raised, and many of us were. But nowadays, that philosophy doesn't really fly anymore for many reasons. Actually, because we don't think it works as well, but also because the child abuse laws say we're not allowed to hit our kids, and we're not allowed to be verbally abusive to them. So we need to have a different set of tools than our parents had. So how do we do this? Creating a respect-based home begins with treating our kids with respect. It's very hard to demand respect back from our children if we're not being respectful to them first. So that's very hard for many parents to fathom when I suggest that. They think that when their kids do something wrong, the punishment needs to hurt, or the consequence really needs to be painful and sting just enough to teach the child a lesson. But my contention is that kids don't really need pain in order to learn. They need motivation. And the way that they're motivated is by taking away the things that make them happy and feed them. And I don't mean food, I mean their connection to us. So if they're not having good behavior, we hold them responsible, and we say to them, your behavior is showing me that you can't handle being in this room right now, and we remove them from the situation. The consequence lets them know that that behavior is not going to be tolerated, and that they can't be in the same room with us if they're going to engage in that behavior. So it doesn't have to be any more painful than that for them to get the message. And sometimes there are some kids who are more stubborn than others, and we have to remove them time and time and time again. And that's okay. Repetition is how kids learn. Be patient with that. And that's not easy to do, I get that. But the more respectful we are by not raising our voices, in fact, very often I tell parents, the more hysterical our kids get, the calmer we need to get. So kids escalate, we need to cue calmness. So keep that in mind. It's not always easy to do because nobody can push our buttons the way our kids do. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. And we remove them and hold them responsible by letting them know that their behavior is not okay, and that until it is okay, they don't get to be in the room with us. They don't get to be at the dinner table if their manners aren't respectful. They don't get to be playing with their brother or sister if they're going to be hitting or kicking them because they're mad. We need to teach them the words we wish they would use. Instead, when they're being disrespectful, we can say to them, for example, say please or say thank you to your sister, things like that, and use the respectful words we wish they would use, and then expect them to do it. And until they're willing to do it, they don't have the privilege of being in the room with us. I know this sounds easier said than done, and I get that. But it's practice makes perfect, and it does just take time and teaching the kids the ropes that we're going to be consistent and we're not going to allow certain behaviors. So being respectful also to each other as the parents also models what a beautiful relationship looks like. When we're being respectful of each other, we're teaching our kids what a respectful relationship looks like. So in order to create a respect-based home, all of your relationships really need to show that kindness, that warmth, and that respect that we hope that they'll show to us.